Brit Howell.
How's
Thanks
it
for
going?
joining me today.
How's it going? Thank you for having me.
I'm good. So welcome to the Building Bellingham Pivot Series here where we talk a little bit about, well, who you are, what you do, but also, very importantly, how you adapt, right? How do you not only adapt your personal life, your personal world, but how do you maintain a business or a platform through not just COVID-19, but anything really. It's all about how quick are you on your feet to do that. So thanks for joining me today. Tell me a little bit about yourself, what you do, and how you're involved in the local community here in Whatcom County.
Okay, my name is Brit Howell. I'm 32 years old. I'm born and raised here in Whatcom County. This is my second business in the automotive industry. This is Jurassic Auto Lab. This is kind of recently new and rebranded in October of 2019. And I've had clientele. I've been in this industry for 16 years now. I've worked in professional auto body collision repair centers for years. Worked in other shops doing a lot of truck accessories and lift kits and fiberglass repair and painting canopies and tonneau covers and stuff like that. Lots of wiring, lots of trailer wiring and hitch receivers and stuff like that. So finally just decided that I tried getting into some other industries over the years, and it just decided that, you know what, you got to stick what you're good at. So
Yeah.
if there's one thing I know, man, it's collision repair. So that's what I'm going to stick to. And I love it, man. I haven't worked a day. I quit my last job in October of 2016, and I have not worked a day since, man. I love coming to work. I can't wait for the weekend to end.
Yeah. I love it.
Yep.
So interesting enough, so people that are watching this, may be somebody that would, potentially be a customer or other business owners. And for people that are really trying to find their way in the world, whether it's personally or through their business, tell me a little bit more about that experience. What other industry did you look to get into, and what was that moment like for you when you said, I don't know about that, I'm just going back to what I know?
I tried getting into working for Whatcom County on like the road crew and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I had so much experience doing automotive stuff that I didn't really have a lot of, experience doing anything else. So it was hard to get interviews and stuff. I actually tried getting law enforcement for a few years, and actually was this close with a few departments. I mean, I had polygraph tests, I had written physicals. I was all the way up until the chief's interview, smoked all the interviews, oral board interviews. So I was real close, but it all just kind of came to, and it just kind of like clicked to me one day. I was like, you know what, this is where my heart's at, and no one can tell me what to do and how to do it. And this is what I'm good at. It's what I'm known for. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with it.
So how did you start the Auto Lab? How did you figure out the location? What was that process like for you?
Well, I had been self-employed since, like I said, since 2016. So it's nothing new. And also I've been in the industry since about 2004, 2005. So I kind of knew the industry in and out as far as the business side of things, financial side of things, as far as the actual work behind the scenes in the shop and stuff. So I kind of know how to do everything start to finish. It took me years to, learn all that. Finally, I decided, this was the lifelong dream right here, to be completely self-employed, completely, professional looking, state-of-the-art tools and equipment, and have that image like you'd see online or in a TV show or in the magazines. And so that's what I was really shooting for. Recently, last year, I kind of got the idea back in probably early August, September, probably about September time. I thought, you know what, I kind of want to get a new shop. I wasn't sure when, but I was like, I'm going to start kind of saving, putting some money aside to get some more equipment. And, I didn't want to do any small business loans or anything like that. I've been down that road. So I wanted to do this all out of pocket. And I already had a lot of tools over the years. So I finally, just the thought of once I got the thought going in my head and the process going, it just kind of, boom, it just came together. It was like natural. I ended up having a spot that I called on. And the deal was too good to pass up, so I just jumped on it right away. And I opened, got the keys October of 2019, and opened November 11th. So
that's awesome. So
yeah,
how often, I hear a lot of the times people talk about, well, I've got this gift, or I've got this thing that I'm really good at, but there's kind of this fear to jump right into it, right? And really, entrepreneurs are not necessarily they're not necessarily the culmination of successes. They're the culmination of failures, right? And things that
Right.
or things that they're willing to push through. Tell me a little bit more about what that moment was like to jump. Like, what is that moment like to jump, and what's on the other side? For those of the people that are listening that are just there.
Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, man, the thought of not trying, like when I was employed by someone else and had another employer, and keep in mind, I had a really good job, benefits and everything, good pay, as much hours as I wanted. I sacrificed a lot to walk away from that. But the thought of not doing it and one day regretting it would have killed me. So when I did it, man, the hardest step right now, honestly, the hardest step is the first step. Once you take that first step, you know, that's all it is. If you don't take that first step, you're never going to go anywhere.
There's no going back.
There's no going back. Oh yeah. There's definitely no going back now.
Yeah.
Like I said, the hardest step is the first step, but you're never going to know if you don't try.
Absolutely.
You got to have the confidence. You got to be confident in yourself. You got to believe in yourself. You got to invest in yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me a little bit, we're going to shift a little bit. Tell me a little bit more about Britslist, and how did that come about? You founded this Facebook group, and
right,
man, I'm a part of Facebook groups. I'm running some Facebook groups, but not Facebook groups that have 50 or 60,000 people. How did this start? How did this idea start? How did it go? Yeah.
Let's rewind time. I think a lot of people forgot. If you rewind time back to the 2012 era, I mean, this is back when, you know, iPhone 3 was brand new. So you got to think, you got to rewind time a little bit. Craigslist was the hottest thing out there. I mean, everybody was on Craigslist. You know, I was on Craigslist. I was getting sick and tired of people on Craigslist, you know, not showing up, being flakes, just not knowing who you're talking to and communicating to. And I didn't like that. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to start one of these groups on Facebook, and I'm going to make like a marketplace, you know, because no one's done that before, you know. So I created a marketplace in a group on Facebook before Facebook even had a marketplace.
Right.
And the reason why Britslist is so big is because it was the first one around here.
Right.
Now, there may or may not have been another group somewhere across the nation, but at the time, there was no one else doing a buy for sell group, you know. And then a big thing was the marketing. I was actually targeting marketing. I actually had a website domain, Britslist.com. And one of the things I was doing was selling marketing and advertisement for small businesses through that. So I actually got real connected through the community doing that. And, you know, I was networking with small businesses.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good for a long time. And then eventually once it hit about 1,000 people, it just took off overnight. And then, of course, years down the road, more groups got started. And then Facebook decided, well, we're going to start a marketplace, you know. And then Craigslist has taken a hit for sure. And of course, we had earlier on, back in probably 2012, 2013 time, 2014 even, we had apps, Britslist.com apps in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. But man, to keep, like, I don't know if anybody's ever designed and done apps before, but to keep up on an app and to always update and to fix the bugs is a full-time job.
Oh yeah.
And it's not cheap either. You got to pay for that Apple agreement license and everything. You can't just put an app in the App Store for free. So It's a big deal. So that was kind of a big step too. But like I said, right now we just kind of taking a step back with that, and it's just kind of sitting in limbo. It's getting well known, well recognized. The name alone is worth something. So we got some big plans for it though.
Absolutely. So it's so interesting. You're talking about a time where, I was a big Craigslist user. I'd show up and people, I didn't know who they are. If they said they were who they were, they're trying to lowball you right off the bat. There's all sorts of unknowns, which I guess is part of negotiation. You can't remove that piece. That's going to happen either way. But one of the things that you just talked about was not having that ability to do some more research on who you're meeting too. That's the safety of that, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit more, like it happened starting with, you said 1,000 people. How did that grow? How did it grow by word of mouth? Did it grow by, you know, people just inviting people? How did that happen?
It's kind of like a chain reaction for the most part, honestly. But yeah, it was just kind of word of mouth and just got well known. It just kind of stuck. And like I said, it was the first of its kind around here. So it just really stuck. And, you know, by the time everyone else was starting a group, there was already thousands of people in Britslist, you know. And it had a website, like you said, about not knowing who you're talking to and stuff. the group was made to push the website.
Right.
So, because, to get people to click off Facebook in this era, in 2020, is nearly impossible. Facebook's one of the biggest websites in the world right now, next to Google and, Amazon and stuff. And of course, YouTube, but that's owned by Google as well. So to get people to click off of Facebook to go to an actual website or a domain is really difficult. Now, it's really professional to have a domain, but I don't always think that you should put all your eggs in one basket for a domain. Apps are a big thing. Everyone's downloading apps, so apps are definitely where it's at. But when we had Britslist.com, one of the big things to push that was the reason why people got to sign up. It was actually kind of like a small social media page, just like Facebook. So it was kind of like you started a profile, but there was a marketplace. So when you were actually talking to somebody about an item for sale, you actually knew who you were talking to.
Yeah.
Versus, everything being hidden like Craigslist.
Yeah. Which it was, you're standing on the shoulders of an innovative platform, but it was missing such a key element, which was, who am I talking to? Who am I meeting? Am I going to get robbed? There's so many, there's so many questions about it. So you created this group. So as the group grew from like 100 people, which you probably knew a lot of those people,
right,
to 1,000 people, to 20,000 people, how did you keep maintaining the quality of the group, the integrity of the group, and also how did you get other people that were kind of like catalysts for your group to help you with that? Because you can't manage 60,000 people.
No,
right?
That's the magic. That's the $1 million question right there, man. It's absolutely 100% impossible.
Yep.
And the way I had to separate, like you said, being an entrepreneur and a small business owner and stuff, you got to separate your personal life from your business life. You have to draw the line at some point. And it got to the point where it was growing, overnight there, when it first started, it would be like, 5 requests to join, and then it was 20, and then it was 50. Then it was 99 requests every day.
Yep.
Now there's hundreds of requests. Some of them are even fake, so you got a lot of spam and stuff. And at this point, as far as keeping the quality, I have gotten admins to run it.
Awesome.
But the thing is, everybody's different. So you get too many cooks in the kitchen, and that doesn't work either.
Right.
So, and I get it, at the end of the day, it don't matter who admins it, the hate's going to come to me for sure.
Yeah.
So I have to separate myself from that as well. So I can't let anything offend me as far as any hate mail or anything like that. But the thing is people might not like somebody in there that says something, or, somebody said something offensive. Oh, they need to be removed. But you know what? That doesn't remove the people from your life, from the world. It removes them from your phone. Now, if people, are saying negative things about the group or, in general, you got to realize that those are the same people that live next door to you. Right. Those are the same people that are teaching your kids in school. Those are the same people driving your kids to school. Those are the same people you go to the grocery store and you're standing next to in line that are over the counter. Those are the same people. That's us. You got to look at us as a whole. So for us to point at 1 or 2 people, we got to change as a whole. So, and that's what people got to realize. It's very difficult, but that's what it comes down to is,
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it's tough because there's 2 different worlds within Britslist. There's the buying, selling, the marketplace aspect, and part of a marketplace is interaction, right? And
Absolutely.
So if you're taking that completely online, what you're saying is sometimes people kind of hide behind their computer and say things that they may not say in person, and they don't realize these people are, their neighbor or and that's, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to maintain that level of camaraderie. Like, this is our community. That's the whole purpose of this, without losing that. And the discussion groups, I mean, they can get so out of hand. I mean, I run a group of 400 people, and that can get out of hand. So I'm like, What is Brit going through? How does he sleep?
I sleep fantastic, man.
Yeah,
like I said, it took me years to separate myself from those things. But yeah, man, those are, like I said, those are our people. Those are our family members. Those are our friends. Those are our friends' friends, unfortunately.
Absolutely, yeah.
But that's our community.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the people on there, you don't like our community. So we got to do something out, about it as a whole.
Right. And Brit, for you, What has it been like since January 1st? So we had this, and we don't need to get too far into. We all know what's going on right now. There's
Right.
a lot of unknowns. There's a lot of, in my opinion, fear mongering in the media. With there are a lot of core truths to what's going on.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit more about your experience from. Oh yeah, there's something going on in China right now. And all of a sudden, okay, it's in Kirkland, Washington. Oh my goodness, it's here in Bellingham. We have COVID
Right.
here now. Tell me about for your business and for Britslist, what you've been seeing, because I'm sure the discussion groups just exploded.
Right.
And also, what has that been like for your business between now and going back to January?
Man, it's felt like just a flash, you know what I mean? Like, but when I first found out about it, I swear to God, I was like probably the last person to find out about coronavirus. I had no idea what everything on the Facebook was talking about. I thought it was a joke. But then when I found out it was real, there was something going on in China, I immediately knew that this is a big deal. And sure enough, a few weeks later, it was already over here in Washington. So as far as a business stands, I've been in this industry for 16 years. I've always kind of known how to survive. And I'm well known in the automotive industry. And as far as getting work and stuff like that, it hasn't really slowed me down, but I've definitely noticed the impact early on when they were first shutting everything down. There was definitely an impact of just less emails, less phone calls, less messages, less people stopping in. Definitely. But it kind of seemed like after a few weeks, 2-3 weeks of people being stuck at home, people kind of started being like, ignoring the order and just kind of getting out. And then they got the stimulus checks. And now it almost seems like business-wise, it almost seems right back to normal. I mean, I'm plenty busy right now. I'm not personally worried about it. I have noticed as far as like personal life and stuff, everyone's kind of cooped up at home and, you got to be safe. There's all these businesses are requiring masks and stuff, which is great. But so it's definitely impacted the community as a whole for sure.
Absolutely. And tell me a little bit more about, we talked a little bit about mindset, but for somebody like you that's running a business that understands that you could be impacted by it, tell me more. And also from the Britslist perspective, all of a sudden these people are cooped up at home and they're all people that you may know. They're part of our community. Everybody's a little bit like cooped up, maybe a little agitated. Maybe they lost their job. Maybe there's all of these different factors playing into it. Tell me about the discussion groups and how did you lead? How are you leading through that chaos? Because I know I've seen the discussion groups and I'm like,
right.
Whoa.
Honestly, I'm a really busy person and I have admins that just kind of admin and monitor it. Now, we don't always delete everything because it is impossible to keep up. But the admins will come in and if there's some nasty comments, instead of deleting and filtering through the comments, we'll delete the whole post.
Yeah.
Which I have a few admins that take care of that for the most part. But like I said, I mean, every minute's a new minute and it could be a new post. But
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely pros and cons to everything that's going on right now. I mean, it is a real thing, and the economy is getting affected too.
Yeah,
and it's a big deal. Not everybody's getting unemployment. Not everybody's getting these stimulus checks, and not everybody is going back to their job. And not everybody's landlord is forgiving them on their rent or their mortgage. So it's a big deal right now. And we're going to feel this for a while, in my opinion.
We're definitely going to feel this for a while. And
definitely.
Talk to me about mindset. For you, when you get up in the morning and you might have A, B, and C, variables happening in your personal life. You may have something that's kind of weighing on your mind from a business perspective. You may have, 50,000 notifications in the Britslist account. What's your mindset? What's your mantra? What do you tell yourself? How do you keep going? Yeah.
I'll tell you right now, man, you can only control what you can control. That's the only thing you got to wake up and think about. You cannot worry and stress about the things you cannot control. I wake up every day and I've been beat down by life left and right, overwhelmed, thinking I've been at so low where I thought it was the end of the world. How am I going to pay for this? What am I going to do? Where am I going to live? Where's there going to be a roof over my head? What am I going to eat? I've been there. So you can only control what you can control. And even though those times that I thought it was the end of the world, I still woke up another day and I'm here. And sometimes in life you go up and down a little bit, but you got to stay positive. Even when times are rough and hard, you got to get yourself up and focus on what you can control. If you can't control other people, you can't control other things, you can't control the world around you, but you can control what you can do. If you're unhappy at your job, you can control that. You can quit. You can go get another job. If you're unhappy where you live, you can get out of there, go get another place to live. You know, you're in control of every step of your life. And once you start thinking like that, you'll be much happier because nobody can control you.
Yeah. You're actually in complete control. And what you just talked about is sometimes people feel like maybe their environment is controlling their destiny, but what you're saying is you actually have control over what you do with your environment or what environment you put.
Everything.
Yeah.
You are in control of everything you do today. Everything.
And
no one's going to tell me.
Doing Monday things on Monday, doing Tuesday things on Tuesday, planning for the future, right? And using the past as kind of like your reference point, but also just like today's today. I'm just going to do what I can today.
Absolutely. Your whole world. I've also been in situations where I had everything and the next day I had nothing. So your whole world can flip for the good or the bad overnight.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're going to wake up another day to get through it. So it's not the end of the world.
So for a positive person like you that you know, and we don't know each other super well, but I can tell you genuinely have a positive outlook on people and positive outlook on life. Definitely. No matter where you've been and where you are now. Tell me, what does your morning, like, where do you start in the morning? Where do you end at the end of the day? Like, let's use today. What does your routine look like, and how do you maintain that to just stay consistent with treating every day like it's that day, you know?
Right. Well, being self-employed, it's kind of hard because you're your own, you got to manage yourself. So, I mean, you really have to stay focused. You know, even though I don't have anybody over me, I pretend I do. I stay focused. I get up every day. I take breaks just like anybody else. I take lunch break just like anybody else. I try not to slack. I try not to be on my phone much. So I get through the day just like anybody else. And I do dedicate time for my own projects, and I do dedicate time for my personal life and my kids. So you have to kind of, time management is kind of a big thing, and staying consistent too. Waking up at the same time every day, making your bed if you have to, doing anything, any type of consistency in your life is going to ease your mind. So doing a routine every day, that's why like making your bed so important. Getting up every day, making at the same time, making your bed, eating some breakfast, and getting going at the same time every day is so important for your mind alone. People don't even realize how big of a deal that really is to be consistent with their time right off the bat in the morning. That first thing you do can settle your mind. So right. Getting up every day at the same time and making your bed is one thing that's routine, and that routine will settle your mind, and it'll ease out and potentially make you a happier person throughout the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And for you, what's a constant for you? Like, what's something that on your worst day you can go back to and you can say, just being outside, or being with your daughter, or being out, you know, exercise, or being in the shop. What's the constant for you that, like, on a rough day you can go back to and get grounded?
Oh, definitely. I run into problems all the time. Make mistakes. Parts break, parts come wrong. Something could cost you. You could do an expensive mistake. Sometimes you just gotta, as much as it can be frustrating, you just gotta take a step away. You gotta know when to step away, and to, like you said, I got kids, so I can go hang out with my kids. Have a good day. Go hang out with some friends. But I still try to stay within my work schedule as far as that. But if you can't control what you can't control, it comes back to that too. So if something happens, it's too late. It already happened. There's no point of stressing out about it. How can you move forward? You also learned something probably along the lines. Yeah. So you can't control what you can't control. So there's no point in stressing and worrying about it. So I try to move forward and figure out a conclusion on how to fix it and repair it and move on.
Yeah. And for everybody that's watching, if you look in the background, you can see Jurassic Auto Lab, the brand there. Brit, what does that brand mean? Like, when you created the Jurassic Auto Lab, which I think is awesome, it's super rad. What were you thinking were your core values coming into your own business, where you're not working under someone else's core values?
Right.
what do you show? Like, what makes you just show up to work every day? What's the core of the Jurassic Auto Lab's values? How do you treat customers? Tell me more about that.
Right. Well, it definitely comes down to integrity and quality and honesty right there. I won't use any, I use everything, every product I use is quality product. I offer lifetime warranty on paint. I won't use anything cheap. I do my best work on anything and everything I can. I treat everybody's vehicle like it's my own. As far as designing the name, the name, Jurassic kind of is prehistoric, kind of like dinosaurs. So, and I like to be well known for like classic cars. That's kind of what I want to be known for. So I like the prehistoric. And our icon is actually a dinosaur, like a T-Rex.
Nice.
So, and the Auto Lab is just instead of like Auto Works or Auto Body or auto repair. Being that I do a little bit of everything, I like Auto Lab kind of summed it up where I'm not just one thing, because a lot of people, there's not very many shops, if not any at all, that are doing auto repair and auto collision repair. So I'm definitely, my bread and butter is the collision repair end of things and custom paint. But
yeah. So you do, I collision repair, auto repair, maintenance, detailing, custom paint, accessories.
yes.
So you're kind of, when you say the Auto Lab, you're in there with your breadth of knowledge on all these different
Absolutely
different worlds. And you're saying a lot of different places will do like a specific, just detailing or just
right.
Repair, right?
I think in 2020 that you need to, if you can do something and you can make some money doing something, you need to do it, especially as a small business.
Yeah.
Because with everything, luckily in my industry, the internet can't do too much, but in a lot of industries, the internet's going to destroy everything. So you got to adapt and learn to adapt and maintain to the internet.
Absolutely.
But as far as my industry goes, I'm very experienced and I've worked in some different shops doing some different things. So I try to offer a lot of different things, kind of like a one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it's mostly collision repair, a little bit of auto repair, some detailing and stuff like that, maintenance, brakes and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of, I don't know where I was going with that.
That's fine. No, but maybe towards brand. How important, with all of those services and those kind of leading into the Jurassic Auto Lab brand, how important, especially even in a time like this where things shift and slow down, how important is that brand to the survival of your business?
Oh, it's very important. I'm not too worried as far as this virus, because every day there's more and more cars and manufacturers making cars. There's more and more cars on the road and there's more and more drivers on the road. So there's always going to be a wrecked car. So, and I've kind of like, I learned in an old school shop. So I learned old school trade as well. This is kind of collision repair is actually kind of a dying trade right now. A lot of people insurance companies are totaling out vehicles now. It's costing more to repair than it is just to replace. So things are totaled. And a lot of the auto collision repair guys now in body shops which people are looking for body repair guys left and right. And a lot of people are just replacing parts instead of repairing. So I take a lot of pride on some of the old school traits that I've learned to actually repair things versus replace. You think back when they used to have TV repair shops and vacuum cleaner shops. It's the same thing on a larger scale with automobiles. Right. So people are not repairing anymore and they're replacing. And to me, that's kind of sad. So, especially with classic cars and like antiques and stuff, there's always going to be a place for restoring stuff like that. So.
Absolutely. Well, you're in your shop right now. What's your favorite project that you're working on right now? Or what are you working on right now?
Oh, right now I got we got this 93 Honda Del Sol. We're doing full paint and body on it. And we did actually, we're kind of having some fun with the fab work here. And we actually did a Subaru hood scoop on this Honda. So this was a scrapped hood that we actually recycled the hood scoop. So we tacked it in place right there. We're going to end up finishing it. And then right now I'm actually modifying the fenders here.
Oh, awesome.
So we're actually making some, this is kind of a sneak peek. I haven't really shown anybody this stuff yet, but we're actually kind of modifying the fenders to give it a little more. So we didn't actually buy these. We took them the stock fenders and we've cut them and we've modified them. We've made some filler panels, and we're getting ready to body work them right now and get them in the paint. And when this thing's done, my shop's a little messy right now. When this thing's done, it's going to be actually a Lamborghini lime green pearl.
Nice.
So
well, that's good looking. That's a good looking color there.
Yeah, really pretty color. So we're excited to get this thing done. Hopefully in a couple weeks, we'll be spraying the color on this thing. And another one, we got this 71 C10 pickup cab.
Nice.
So we're doing the whole truck's actually going to be brand new except for the cab. So we actually did new doors. We did new rocker panels, new floorboard. We did some panels up there. We did a lot of patchwork on the back of the cab. We did new cab corners. And we're doing this partnership with Vicious Auto Works too. So there's actually 2 shops working on this one right now. So
nice.
Shout out to Vicious Auto Works. And then here's another Honda that we're actually doing. We did full paint and body on this one. This one's actually my personal car. And it's only in here because of quarantine. But we actually did a right-hand drive conversion on it.
Oh, okay.
So we actually made the steering wheel on the other side, full paint and body. It hasn't even been washed yet. It's not done yet, but we built the motor, and then we did a turbo setup. So here's the turbocharger right here, as well as a wet nitrous system. So that thing's almost ready for the dyno right now. It's probably going to make 350 wheel horsepower before nitrous.
So what you're trying to say is that for people that don't know what that means, that's going to go fast.
It's going to go fast. Like, it's going to be ridiculous. So yeah. And then we got a lot of customer repairs coming in. Actually this next week, I got a couple of repairs to do. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us. And for you and being a big part of this community and creating this online community, what kind of message do you want to give to people in your life? People that you don't know yet, or people that are looking for a community, or just out there in Britslist that know your business? What kind of message would you like to give those people?
Man, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, then don't say it at all, man. It comes down to that, man. Be humble, be positive, treat others how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Every day. Try to help somebody. If you walk by a piece of garbage, pick it up. You know what I mean? Sometimes I walk by a piece of garbage and it kills me. I'm like, I shouldn't leave that there. I believe in karma, man. So I'll go back. I'll pick it up. Sometimes I'll walk by some change. I'll leave the change because someone needs that change more than me. But garbage, I try to pick it up because, whatever you do, whatever good you do is going to come back to you one way or another. I truly believe. It might not feel like it at the time, but one day it's going to give back to you. So like I said, always treat others how you want to be treated and stay humble, even when people aren't nice or respectful to you, because you don't know what's going on in their day. They could be having a really, really bad day and you don't even know it. And you might be like, oh, they're treating me like crap. But you know what? You don't know what they just went through. So you don't judge them just because they're a certain way.
Yeah.
But
it also, we talked about how people show up every day, and we don't show up the same every day. For the most part, we can try to control our environment, right? But we don't show up the same every day. So that's huge. And especially right now, just if you don't have something nice or positive to say, or something that's informative, just don't say it, right?
Right. Consistency. Wake up every day at the same time. Do something consistent, like making your bed, making breakfast. Do whatever you got to do. Listen to music. Whatever you got to do that makes you happy, and be consistent. That's going to soothe your mind. So that consistency will set the pace for the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So for those of you that have watched this or are watching this, you can find Jurassic Auto Lab at JurassicAutolab.com. There's more information on Brit, their services. I'll make sure that you guys can find everything on this particular video. And then Facebook, obviously you can find Brit Howell on Facebook. And if you have questions about anything auto, I mean, you can find it on the website, but you can also reach out. Is that fine if people reach out to you via Facebook?
Right. Absolutely. If anybody even has a question, they don't have to come to me. I'm not begging for work at all. I'm plenty busy. I don't need anybody's business. But if somebody feels like they're getting ripped off by another shop and they want me to look at their estimate, or they want a second opinion, or they just got a simple question, the only stupid question is no question. So feel free to reach out to me or my shop page and ask me, and you can send me the estimate. I'll look at it and make sure you're not getting taken advantage of, or or maybe answer a couple questions about that estimate or repair to you. Or if you just want to come by and check out the place or meet me, that's cool too.
Yeah, absolutely. So for Jurassic Auto Lab, easiest way to get in touch, probably through the website or just messaging through Facebook.
Yeah, the Facebook page is a great one. So, everyone's on Facebook. So the Facebook page at Jurassic Auto Lab is a great one to contact me at.
Awesome. And you can also be found on Instagram at the Real Britslist. And then do you have also at Jurassic Auto Lab as well?
I do have a Jurassic Auto Lab on Instagram and YouTube as well, but currently they are deactivated and down. So hopefully it'll be back up soon because I'm a big YouTuber. So I got lots of content and cinematics to put up here soon.
Awesome. So to go find that content, just reach out to Brit, follow Brit, friend Brit, find Brit on the Britslist, and all of that content. Sounds like we'll be back up at some point. And
definitely,
your YouTube channel, is it a lot of informational auto?
Yeah. Well, actually, what I'm going to be doing, I'll fill you in a little bit. So my YouTube channel, it's currently deactivated, but I was doing a lot of tool reviews and stuff like that, so which reaches out to the nation and stuff, and it gets a lot of hits and stuff on that. But I'm going to definitely have a few more how-to videos. I've had some how-to videos in the past that have performed really well. And I plan on actually probably later this year, if this virus thing clears up a little bit and things will smooth out a little bit, I want to do a class, and I actually want to host a class here at my shop and probably open it up to 10 individuals. And if there's more than that, I can do a 2-night class and get more people. And I want to teach people the basics and pass down this trade. I'm well known in the industry, so a lot of shops will hire somebody based off their knowledge, not necessarily their schooling.
Right.
So if a lot of people in the industry at shops know my name and know me over the years, if they know that somebody's been taught through me, there's a good chance they'll hire somebody in on the floor. So I do have big plans to do a class here later this year, and I'll definitely be posting about that when that time comes. And as well as online, I kind of want to host some continuous classes and actually teach some of the harder things as well online for the rest of the nation.
Absolutely. So everybody that's watching this or will watch this, stay posted, stay tuned. It'll be coming up soon. So all these events and all these how-to videos and tool reviews.
Yes.
Those will be coming up soon. If you're in Whatcom County and looking for a community where you can host, whether it's discussion questions or buying, selling, the full inclusive marketplace, go check out Britslist. And the link here is actually in the Facebook post above the video. And so go check it out. It might take Brit a day or so, or the admin a day to review your profile and either let you join or have a little discussion about that. But amazing community to be a part of here, and probably the most powerful group to be a part of in Whatcom County. So thanks for sharing that with everybody in that.
Yeah. And as far as Britslist goes, that's a very powerful network. We have some very big things coming for that too, as far as the marketing aspects and small businesses. And I'll be reaching out to small businesses as far as marketing here, hopefully soon, sooner than later, on some more ideas with that. So we are going to take that to the next level, but we got to evolve. It's almost like you got to be one step ahead of the time,
Absolutely.
And apps are a big thing. I mean, you look at the person that created the Angry Birds app. Someone created the Angry Birds video game, and it had the graphics of probably a 1990 Nintendo game.
Yep.
And the simplicity of that. They probably made it in a day or two.
Yep.
It made $4 million its first year and 99-cent downloads.
Beautiful.
And now it's one of the biggest things ever. It's got, their brand is huge. They got, merchandise, they got movies, video games, clothing, everything you can think of. I mean, that's a multi-million-dollar deal. Right. So you got to stay ahead of times.
Stay ahead of the times. Everybody,
stay ahead
of time. Stay light on your feet. Stay humble. Yep.
And I got some advice to like some small business owners too, and that are maybe struggling with some marketing and stuff. You got to think like, everything, when something's in the news and it's hot right now, everyone's talking about it. What's the new thing this week? So everyone will talk about it for 5 or 6, 7 days. Next week, it's going to be something else. If you're not consistent, be consistent. You got to stay consistent. Like I said, with your posting on social media, you don't have to pay Facebook. You can share in groups and stuff. Be consistent. Just because you're not getting the likes or the comments that you wish you were getting from your business page posts, doesn't mean anything. It's all about the reach and how many people have, viewed it. And just being on someone's news feed, even though they're going to swipe by it, it imprints something in their head. And when they consistently see something like that, they might not need your help now, or they might not need your merchandise now. But one day when someone or them needs it, they'll remember. But if you're not consistent, you're going to fade away. Next week, it'll be something new. You're here today, gone tonight.
Yep.
You got to remember that.
Yep.
So you got to stay consistent. Consistency is the key to everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for sharing that. And I really, really appreciate that. And I know a lot of people that will watch this or have watched this will appreciate that. So thank you so much for sharing your time today. Taking time out of your busy life. And thank you for everybody who's watched this or will watch this to join us in today's episode. And again, for more information on Britslist, Jurassic Auto Lab, all the details are in the comments here below. Please reach out to Brit if you have anything auto question, anything entrepreneurial, auto questions, all of it. I mean, you guys got a chance to get to know him over this.
I light up like a light bulb when someone talks to me about marketing or entrepreneurship or automotive. I light up. So please. Absolutely.
And for those of you that would like to see more content like this with awesome people like Brit, go to Building Bellingham, go follow the page. We're doing these as consistently as we can to get awesome business owners like Brit, connecting people, right? It's all about connecting. So
network.
Also have the YouTube channel. So go follow, subscribe us, subscribe to the channel, whatever it may be. And thank you everybody for joining me. Thanks Brit for joining me today. And
all right, thank you for having me.
Yeah. And holy smokes. Is it Friday?
It's Friday, man. All day, every day.
Let's go. It's Friday.
Yeah.
Brit, thanks for joining me. Thank you everyone for joining me, and catch you all next time.
All right. Thanks.